Okay, boa tarde, bye, mihotu. Good afternoon.
Boa tarde.
Hey, listen, we want to follow up a video we made a few months ago. That one was about what we liked about each other's cultures. My name's Brent, I'm from New Zealand. You are?
And my name is Ajeng, I'm from Indonesia.
Yeah, so we live here in Timor-Leste in Southeast Asia. And we've naturally, we have lots of differences in culture. Some similarities, some differences in culture, some we like, some we don't. So this is a follow-up part 2 of the first video. So don't take this as purely negative because we already talked about the positives. Well, there's many more, there's many things we haven't mentioned, but anyway, the purpose of this video is what are 3 things that we don't like about the other person's culture. So just jump into it. Do you want to go first or me?
You first.
Alright, I'm going to go first.
You say one and then I say one.
Now this is not specific about Indonesian culture, it's kind of general. You could say East, West, Western Asian perhaps. What I don't like about Eastern culture or Asian culture, I'm going to talk about the education style and system. I don't like that the education system is very results driven, grades driven, competitive. I don't like that they focus almost solely, it seems at times, on results, grades. I think it's really old fashioned and out of date. It doesn't allow for a lot of for kids or young people or any people who are studying to show talent in different ways. It's all about grades. And because that's the case, schools care about grades, parents caring about grades. I'm not saying you shouldn't care about grades at all. I'm just saying in Asian cultures it seems to be like the primary focus and with little else. I don't know how you feel about that, but that's my opinion. Yeah. Number 1, Asian education, grades driven. Don't like it. Your turn.
Okay. For me, number 1, one thing that I don't like about Western culture, well, this is my personal opinion. I just want to make it brief. About the habit of drinking, party, and then Western people, they like drinking a lot, and then sometimes until get drunk until in the morning, and then they got passed out.
They pass out. Yeah, that can happen.
And then
yeah, I've
and
done it
sometimes
myself.
It creates a violence, or maybe some cause violence, some not.
Yeah.
But I just don't like that habit.
Yeah. And
I'm not drinking, and then many Asian people, and especially Indonesian, we're not drinking, and then that's something that I don't like. Fair call.
It's true. Western culture is very alcohol driven. I've had my fair share of alcohol in my life, which is thankfully in the past. But let me be fair. We're not arguing about these things. We're not arguing. But I just want to say that I've traveled in Thailand and Vietnam as well, and there are Asian countries that drink a lot too.
Yes.
So you're coming from an Indonesian perspective, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Specific in Indonesia.
Yeah, but fair call. Okay, my second thing that I don't like or like less about Asian culture is, how do I put it? The being individual and standing out and being different is done. I mean, it's not condemned, but it seems to be a really difficult thing for a lot of Asian people to do, to be different from their family, community, society. Individualism is not the same in the East as it is in the West. And that's not always a bad thing, but I find I meet different Asian people from different backgrounds, and they struggle to go against the grain, to be themselves. If being themselves is different from the society norm, and so that I guess what I'm saying is I dislike the pressure that people feel or get or exert on others to be like others, to be the same as everyone else. So I think individualism is a tougher gig in the Eastern cultures.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Well, I admit that yes, especially Indonesia and for Asian people generally, yeah, we don't. What is it? We don't want to be different than our the people, normally people,
Yeah.
and because we are afraid against the norm, against the family and society, and we are avoiding the risk.
Yeah.
I admit that.
And I have to say that I dislike it in general. I'm saying I dislike it, so I stand by it. But there's also things to like about that, because there's a sense of unity. So I don't want to condemn it completely, but when people being individual is quite tough. Okay, what's your second one?
My second one is the concept of God. The concept of God and spiritualism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see that. How to explain? The God, spiritualism, religion. I respect if people choose to be non-religious
Mm-hmm.
or they don't believe in God. But I feel like the majority in the Western culture, they God really separate in their daily life from the law, from everything,
culture,
from
yeah.
the culture. So what is it? Sounds like there is no rule of.
Go.
Yeah, there is no. There are not many rules, religion rules. For example, it's okay not to get married. It's okay not to have children. It's okay. What is it? To express themselves, even though it's a bit offensive in religion in a movie. That's my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But all of those in a religion, there are rules about it.
Yep.
And just because in Western culture there are many freedom of speech, freedom in everything, so they are okay not to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you dislike that.
Yes.
Obviously. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Fair call. Yeah, it's true. Like most Western countries these days are very secular and becoming increasingly non-religious. For better or worse. But fair enough if you dislike it. Right. My third one. We made a video about this topic, a whole standalone video, but it's my third and final one. The importance and adherence to status culture, and they take status, economic, educational, community status is a very serious thing in most Asian cultures. The good side of it, the surface of it, is about respect, and that's, I think most people would agree respect generally is good, but it's more. There's way more to it than that. When you live in Asia and you start realizing that, there's a definite pecking order, there's a definite social status, hierarchy, and everybody accepts that that's the way it is. I've seen this everywhere in Thailand and Vietnam and Malaysia and Indonesia. Here in Timor, it's the same. If you're at the bottom, you're at the bottom. If you're at the top, you're at the top, or wherever you are in between. And everybody just accepts that. They accept. Now, I'm not saying that Western countries don't have it at all, but here in Asia, there's a big acceptance of it. And by acceptance, I mean acceptance that the people above you can treat you however they choose to treat you. And if you're at the bottom, you have to accept that. And the people at the top exert their power and dominance over the people at the bottom, and everybody just follows it and accepts it. And I don't like it. Don't like it at all. I don't like to be involved in it. I don't like to see it. I don't like my friends to be victims of it. I just don't like it. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, that's true. We have discussed it before.
Yeah, we've discussed
in
it.
our
So
video. But that's really true, actually. Yeah. Okay.
Three for you. Yeah.
The last thing from me, something that I don't like about Western culture is in a coincidence. That's what I was about to say about the status, but I can't say that the majority, the Western people are doing this, but I saw some of Western people about respect to parents, respect to the teachers. So seems like the closeness between children and parents, between the students and teacher, in Western culture are less than in Asian.
Yep.
But not all of them. How do you say? Yeah, somewhat we respect, but sounds like, oh, my parents not responsibility, or they just, for example, the students, they say, oh yeah, that's my teacher, but sounds like there are no respect. I mean, from the deeper.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like in Western culture, there's less etiquette rules around how you show respect and who you show respect to, how strictly and you ought to stick to these rules, and there's just not the same level of rules of respect for superior. No,
Yes.
superiors is the wrong word. Elders, teachers, parents.
Not only about the parents but older people too. For example, in Asian, especially in Indonesia, if we are passing, we are walking and passing the older people, we have to bow down. Bow down and then saying excuse me, something like that.
Yeah. That's true, and that's probably an effect of our less status. We have less status rules and regulations around in our culture, and as a result we show less respect in certain situations. Doesn't mean we don't respect, just means we're not obliged to show it in set ways.
That's what I mean.
No, fair call. So anyway, there you go. My ones were education, around education, individualism and status, and your ones were around
but the drinking habit,
and
then
drugs,
the concept of God, spiritualism, religion, and then the respect to older people, parents, teachers.
There you go.
Just our personal opinion.
Exactly. It's our opinion, it's our experience, and it doesn't mean any more or less than anyone else's. But don't forget, we made a video before about the things we do like about each other's cultures. So this is the follow-up. Anyway, any comments or discussion, debate is welcomed, and all the best. Cheers.